If we've never met, I'm Susan Gilbert, and you've made it to my YouTube channel, Peachy Pickins. This is the place where we teach you how to resell your stuff and start your own business. You can make a little bit of extra money every month or a lot of extra money every month, or quit your 9 to 5 for good, who knows. Today we're gonna be talking about what to do with cranky customers. I hope you'll stay with us. We have been in this space for over 2 decades now, selling goods to the public. And we have, in our tenure, come across so many wonderful people. The vast majority of our customers are amazing. They're supportive, they're forgiving of mistakes, and just, as a group, wonderful. Sometimes though, you can run into a problem and it's either a mistake you've made or it's some disappointment that the customer has with the product that you sent. And so there's, this can be a really big concern because when customers reach out to you via messaging of their disappointment with an order, we're faced with a couple of decisions because we do have feedback to think about and our reputation as a store. So this video is going to really be devoted to what we do when we receive complaints from customers. The first thing to just make peace with is that if you're going to run a business, you're going to have to solve problems for your customers. It's just a fact of life. Every business has to do it, and the sooner that you expect problems to happen in a day and the better equipped you are to deal with them, the easier this business is going to be. Years ago, I had a friend tell me that the reason that she stopped selling on eBay was because every time she had a notification that there was a message, she had a panic attack. And that's completely understandable. This can be kind of a stressful thing to get used to, but the more you can understand it and see it as a normal part of doing business, and the more you put your problem-solving hat on, the better things are going to run. It is very normal to get complaints from customers. After 20 years of doing business and receiving tens of thousands of feedback on eBay and other platforms, I can tell you the 2 things that I do when I receive a complaint from a buyer before I respond to them. So there's 2 things that I think about. The first thing that I do is I assume that whatever they're telling me is true. When I get a message from a buyer, I put aside my doubts in thinking they're making things up, they are lying to me, they're a scammer. I just have put those thoughts aside, knowing sometimes that can happen. But as a rule, I just take them at face value that what they're saying is true. The second thing I do is, before responding, is I ask myself, what would it feel like to be this buyer and receive this product in the condition that they're saying? I just try to imagine what might be happening in someone's life in a day. If they're expecting to receive a certain costume for their child and one of the pieces is missing, which is one thing that happened to us this week, I try to imagine, what is it like to be a mom of the 2nd grader today, and we're trying to get these costume pieces together for school, and he's throwing a fit because we don't have the right piece to go with the costume. And that really gives me a lot of empathy for the buyer in knowing what I want my tone to be and how I can really join them in coming up with a solution to their problem. When I'm ready to message them back, those messages really just consist of 2 things. The first thing is an apology for whatever the complaint is. I am sorry that, whoever's fault it is, whether it's a shipping delay or a shipper's fault, their fault, a neighbor who received the package by mistake who hasn't returned it, whoever's fault it is, I still am sorry that they're going through what they're going through trying to get this order together. So an apology is the first thing that I always come out with. The second thing is I really try to put it back on the buyer. Look, we're on your team, and what can I do that would be actionable for you right away to make this right? I want to solve this in the quickest way possible for you, and I'm happy to comply with what what in your mind would represent a positive outcome for this. Most buyers can give you a solution to their problem, what would make things right in their minds, either a partial refund, a full refund, or a replacement to be sent. Other buyers want me to give them possibilities for what would resolve the situation, which we're always happy to do as well. Every once in a while, you have to you just have a cranky buyer, and they just want to have some time to blow off steam and let you know that you've let them down. And there's things going on personally in that case. And so we just try to keep the same message going out. We're here, we're on your team. I'm happy to make this right for you in whatever way would work. And most of the time, we end up winning our buyers over with positive team messaging like that. Can I say that we've won everyone over in 20-something years with that strategy? No, there's still an exception to every rule. And there have just been a handful of buyers over the years who it wasn't going to matter what we said. They're just grumpy. They're just in a cranky spot in life. And so we accept that as just being things that are out of our control. You might say, aren't you losing a lot of money with these refunds and replacement shipping charges? And I would say, yeah, sometimes we do lose a little bit of money around the edges of our business with refunds and replacement shipping cost. However, the benefit of having a business with thousands of glowing reviews far outweighs any kind of small refund in the moment that we have to give out. We'll continue this conversation with upcoming videos with some of the safeguards that eBay does provide sellers with to keep us from being taken advantage of. We'll talk about what those are in the coming weeks and months, but I just wanted to give you a template for how to move forward with problems mentally and psychologically as you're wading into this business. So thanks for watching today. I hope that if you haven't subscribed to Peachy Pickens, I hope you will. We'd love to have you on board. Thanks again for watching Peachy Pickens. Like, subscribe. We'd love to have you on board.